Well, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by the game tonight. Liberty get back-to-back solid performances, backed by Sabrina Ionescu's clutch gene, which comes into play over and over again. The officials do get involved in this game, and there's a controversial call that might have decided it all. You'll probably see a lot of that. And the Lynx versus Sun game heats up and gets real spicy on the floor. And these two players redeem themselves in the fourth quarter to carry the Lynx over the hump. All this and more on this game recap. Let's get into it. First half of Liberty Aces. Aces started strong in the first quarter, but they didn't deserve to win this game. They got so much talent, but Becky Hammon is literally losing her hair over the play that is on the floor in front of her. Kelsey Plum has 2 fouls early on, so she is playing tentative on defense and gets drove on in the easy basket. So Becky, getting angry as she is, she pulls the team aside, asks what the F they're doing. Sure enough, they come out of that, obviously, clearly inspired, right? Nope. The next possession, after the timeout, Plum throws the ball away. Plum gets beat again on the other side of the court. Becky is fuming. Plum then travels the next possession. Aces the following possession. Gray just coughs up the ball as well. It's like a disease. The turnovers keep flowing. Plum flops at the basket and Liberty win the challenge. Brianna Stewart, that foul coming off her resume. Next, the Aces possession, a shot clock turnover with the ball in Plum's hand again. And then this one tickled my fancy. Gray calls for the ball near the baseline and traps herself on this play. And if it's not bad enough, Plum drives again, loses the ball out of bounds as the seconds are ticking away, and Sabrina Ionescu is fired up. Second half is where Sabrina thrives, making clutch baskets when it matters most. The officiating tried to get involved in this game, and the Liberty powered through it. Aces not able to fully capitalize, but there was a very critical, controversial call down the stretch. Ball seemingly going off of Phoebish, maybe her finger. It originally was called off of Phoebish and Ace's ball. However, it gets overturned in the challenge, and upon review, it looks like it goes off of Kelsey Plum's shoulder. Some people might disagree. I think it's probably the right call. It wasn't clear if the ball actually hit Phoebish's finger. It was very close, very blurry, quick time situation. Not really a great call. And of course, the Liberty ended down the stretch with great free throw shooting. They take a 2-0 lead so far in this series. And I think that even though the Aces might be a tough environment to try to close this game out in, just the Liberty have been consistent. Their stars are showing up. When someone stumbles, someone's playing some great minutes, making stuff happen. Definitely want to say that, for the Aces side, it's not the case. They have 4 Olympians and they're just blipping out each game. There's no consistency for their team. A lot of mistakes in that first half. And on the other side, the Liberty have Phoebish and Thornton, who are playing out of their minds, helping fill in those gaps. And I think they take this series maybe in a clean sweep, which would be absolutely huge vindication for the Liberty. Well, the first quarter of the Lynx versus Sun game, they picked up where they left off because no one can make a basket with only 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. The score was 4-5. It ended 10-12, a very quiet first quarter. I'm beginning to think that defensive teams in the playoffs with playoff officiating where they don't call fouls is just a recipe for boredom. Luckily, both teams turned it around in the second quarter, picking up their scoring. Things got a little chippy. Mayberry is getting after the Lynx. She's drawing them into some emotions there. Ultimately, Lynx started to pull away, and Nafisa didn't take a single shot in the second quarter, which really she was quiet tonight as far offensively, but she did have presence on the boards and definitely defensively, as we'll get into. Second half starts off, third quarter, Connecticut offense is just absolutely dead. Nothing's happening. And meanwhile, Courtney Williams just comes alive. I think she went on a 12-point stretch just on her own, absolutely dominating. Cheryl eventually got on the refs, and I think that even when there was like an interview, and even during her interview where the announcers are interviewing her, the main point she had was how poor the officiating was this game. So even the poor officiating is making it into like the halftime coach check-in, is kind of wild to me. And after that, Cheryl's kind of like, working on the refs, and I think she got to him because they started calling everything. Connecticut starts to get frustrated. And Allen having a big effort this game. And ultimately, this brings us to the fourth quarter, where the Connecticut go on a 12-4 run. They start to come alive. They start to try to close that gap, but it's so arduous for them. But Alana Smith starts hitting threes, And Carrington almost gets into a fight at one point, and she takes a hard spill to the floor. Williams just continues to silence the Suns' weak runs, and I'm glad that her and Alana, after the struggle bus of an offensive performance they had the first game, they're able to redeem themselves. Lynx take game 2. Overall, the Lynx played well. Sun needed an abnormal offensive night to keep pace with the Lynx, and if they can keep their offense going, I think they can grind out this series. Well, that's a wrap up for today's games. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below with your favorite moment of the games from tonight. And remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing. Catch you next episode.